Most people don't fail loudly. They don't collapse in the streets. They don't scream that they're lost. They don't announce that their dreams are dying. They fail quietly. Silence. It happens in bedrooms with the lights off, in mornings that begin with intention and end in regret, in nights where the body is tired, but the mind refuses to rest. The young man didn't notice when it started. At first, life felt normal. He had plans. He had ambition. He had that restless energy that whispers, "I was meant for more." But whispers are easy to ignore. Pause. Every morning began the same way. An alarm rang, a hand reached out. The sound stopped, and in that moment a decision was made. Not a big one, not one that felt dangerous. Just 5 more minutes. 5 minutes became 10. 10 became 30. 30 became another day lost. Silence. He told himself he was tired, that he would start tomorrow, that he just needed the right motivation. Tomorrow became a promise he kept breaking. Pause. He once dreamed with his eyes open. Now he escaped with his eyes glued to a screen, scrolling through lives he wasn't living, watching people succeed while he stayed still, laughing at jokes that faded the moment the phone was locked. Comparison slowly replaced confidence. Distraction replaced direction. Silence. The strange thing about distraction is this. It doesn't feel like destruction. It feels comfortable. It feels safe. It feels like nothing is wrong. Pause. Days passed. Weeks followed. Seasons changed outside his window, but inside, everything stayed the same. He started feeling tired even after sleeping, restless even while sitting still, busy, without progress. Silence. He didn't lack intelligence. He didn't lack talent. He lacked discipline, but no one ever teaches you how dangerous that is. Pause. Discipline doesn't scream when it's missing. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't announce its absence. It simply lets life slowly drift out of your control. Silence. He noticed it one night. The room was dark. The phone lay face down. The noise was gone. And for the first time in a long time, there was silence. Pause. In that silence, a question appeared. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest. What am I doing with my life? Silence. The question scared him, because deep down he already knew the answer. He was waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect moment. But time doesn't wait. Pause. He remembered the boy he used to be, the one who woke up early with excitement, the one who practiced even when no one was watching, the one who believed effort mattered. Where did that boy go? Silence. No tragedy took him away. No failure destroyed him. He simply stopped choosing discipline, day by day, choice by choice. Pause. That night, sleep didn't come easily. Thoughts echoed louder than any alarm ever had, and somewhere in that restlessness, something shifted. Not motivation, awareness, silence. Because the most dangerous moment in life is not when you fail. It's when you realize you've been failing slowly and calling it normal. Pause. The next morning, he didn't change everything. He didn't wake up transformed. He didn't feel powerful, but he felt something new. Discomfort. And discomfort, when listened to, can become the beginning of discipline. Silence. He didn't know it yet, but this quiet unease was the first step toward a different life. Pause. And somewhere ahead, a meeting awaited him, with a man who understood time, with a voice shaped by patience, with a lesson carved by daily discipline. Silence. This was only the beginning. Some people enter your life loudly. They announce themselves. They demand attention. They leave quickly. Others simply wait. Silence. The young man didn't go looking for wisdom. He went looking for escape. The city felt heavy that day. The noise pressed against his chest. Everywhere he looked, people were rushing, but no one seemed to be going anywhere. Pause. His feet carried him beyond the streets, past the familiar paths, toward a quiet place where time moved slower. A small park, old trees, a bench worn smooth by years of waiting. Silence. That's where he saw him. An old man sat beneath a tree, his back straight, his hands resting calmly on his knees. He wasn't scrolling. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't escaping. He was present. Pause. The young man didn't know why, but the stillness pulled him in. He sat on the other end of the bench, leaving space between them. Silence filled the air. Not awkward, not empty, alive. Silence. Minutes passed. The old man finally spoke, his voice slow and steady. You walk like someone who's tired of running, but afraid to stop. Pause. The words landed deeper than expected. The young man laughed quietly, a defensive sound. I'm just tired, he said. Life is a lot. The old man nodded. Yes, he replied, life becomes heavy when the mind has no direction. Silence. They sat again. No advice, no lectures, just breathing. Pause. The young man broke the silence. I don't understand, he said. I have goals. I want more, but every day I end up doing nothing. The old man turned his head slightly. Nothing, he repeated, is rarely nothing. Silence. Every day, the old man continued, you are becoming someone. The only question is, are you choosing who that is? Pause. The young man looked away. He didn't have an answer. Silence. The old man picked up a small stone from the ground. He turned it in his palm. This stone, he said softly, was shaped by water that never rushed. Pause. Discipline works the same way. The young man frowned. I've tried motivation, he said. It never lasts. The old man smiled. Of course it doesn't, he replied. Motivation is a visitor. Discipline is who lives in the house. Silence. Those words stayed in the air. Heavy, uncomfortable, true. Pause. Most people wait to feel ready, the old man said. They wait for confidence, for clarity, for the perfect moment. He looked at the young man. That moment never comes. Silence. The wind moved through the trees. Leaves fell quietly to the ground. Pause. Discipline, the old man continued, is choosing to act even when the mind begs you not to. The young man felt something tighten in his chest. But what if I fail? He asked. The old man didn't hesitate. You will. Silence. The honesty startled him. You will fail many times, the old man said calmly, and you will feel bored and lonely and unseen. Pause. But those who succeed are not the ones who avoid these feelings. They are the ones who learn to sit with them. Silence. The young man stared at the ground. No one had ever said it like that before. Pause. Before leaving, the old man stood. If you return tomorrow, he said, I'll be here. And if I don't? The young man asked. The old man smiled gently. Then life will continue teaching you the same lesson. Silence. As the old man walked away, the young man remained on the bench. The city noise returned, but something inside him had gone quiet. Pause. For the first time, discipline didn't sound like punishment. It sounded like freedom. Silence. Tomorrow was waiting. The hardest battles are not fought in the world. They are fought in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Silence. The young man returned the next day. Not because he felt motivated, not because he felt strong, but because something inside him felt unfinished. Pause. The old man was already there. Same bench, same tree, same stillness, no greeting, just presence. Silence. Sit, the old man said gently. The young man sat. I tried waking up early, the young man said. It felt pointless. I was tired. My mind kept telling me to stop. The old man nodded. That voice, he said, is not your enemy. Silence. The young man looked confused. It's your untrained mind, the old man continued. And like any untrained thing, it resists discipline. Pause. He leaned forward slightly. Your mind wants comfort, he said. Discipline wants growth. Those two rarely agree. Silence. The young man sighed. So what do I do? The old man picked up a stick and drew a line in the dirt. On this side, he said, is who you are now. He drew another line. And on this side is who you want to become. Pause. Every day, he continued, your actions decide which side you stay on. Silence. The young man watched the lines. They felt real, heavy. Pause. I feel lazy, the young man admitted, like something is wrong with me. The old man shook his head slowly. Nothing is wrong, he said. You've just been practicing the wrong habits. Silence. Discipline, he continued, is nothing more than practice. Practice showing up, practice saying no, practice starting before you feel ready. Pause. The wind grew stronger. The old man spoke again. Most people quit not because it's hard, but because it's boring. Silence. Boring? The young man asked. Yes, the old man said. No applause, no excitement, just repetition. Pause. Success, he said quietly, is built in moments that feel meaningless. Silence. The young man felt resistance rise inside him, a familiar urge to escape, to scroll, to distract, to delay. Pause. I feel alone when I try, he said. The old man smiled faintly. You are, he replied. Silence. That's the price of becoming uncommon. Pause. He stood up. Tomorrow, he said, we will not talk. The young man frowned. We will work, the old man continued. In silence. Silence. That night, the young man lay awake. His mind screamed, skip it, sleep in, no one will know. Pause. But another voice, quieter, answered back. You will know. Silence. And for the first time, he didn't win the war, but he showed up to it. Pause. That was enough. For now. They didn't speak the next morning. The old man arrived early. The young man arrived tired. No greeting, no motivation, just work. Silence. Sit, the old man said. They sat. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. The young man shifted in discomfort. This is it? He asked. The old man didn't answer. Pause. Time slowed. The birds moved. The wind breathed. The world continued. Inside the young man, restlessness grew louder. This is pointless. I could be doing something else. This isn't progress. Silence. The old man finally spoke. Stay. Pause. And so he stayed. 5 minutes became 10. 10 became 30. His legs ached. His thoughts raced. But something else happened. The noise inside him began to soften. Silence. This, the old man said quietly, is discipline. No excitement, no reward, no audience. Pause. Just showing up when your mind begs you to leave. The young man swallowed. He understood now. Silence. Days passed. The routine didn't change. Same bench, same silence, same discomfort. Some days he wanted to quit. Some days he almost did. But he came back. Not perfectly, not confidently, just consistently. Pause. One morning he noticed something strange. Waking up felt lighter. Not easy, but lighter. Silence. The old man noticed too. Your mind is learning, he said. Learning what? The young man asked. That it does not control you. Pause. Discipline didn't arrive like lightning. It arrived like sunrise. Slow, quiet, unimpressive, but unstoppable. Silence. Weeks passed. The young man began applying the silence elsewhere. Short workouts, focused work, less scrolling, not perfect but intentional. Pause. You see, the old man said one day, discipline is not about doing more. It's about doing less, with full attention. Silence. The young man felt stronger, not in body alone, in spirit, in patience, in self-respect. Pause. One evening, he asked, why don't more people do this? The old man smiled sadly. Because this path, he said, does not entertain. Silence. It demands sacrifice before it gives meaning. Pause. The young man looked around. Nothing had changed, but everything had. Silence. He no longer needed the old man to tell him to sit. He sat anyway. That was power. Quiet power. Pause. And soon, it would be time to walk alone. One morning, The bench was empty. The tree stood the same. The wind moved the same. But the old man did not come. Silence. The young man arrived early, earlier than usual. He waited. Minutes passed. Nothing. For a moment, the old fear returned. Did I do something wrong? Was this over? Pause. Then he understood. This was the lesson. Silence. He sat anyway. No instructions, no guidance, no witness, just him, and the silence he had learned to respect. Pause. Discipline no longer felt like effort. It felt like identity. Silence. He realized something important. The old man never gave him strength. He only showed him where it was. Pause. Life didn't suddenly become easy. Distractions still existed. Failures still came. Some days were heavy, but now there was structure, a quiet order beneath the chaos. Silence. He woke up and acted, not because he felt like it, because that was who he had become. Pause. Weeks turned into months. Others noticed. Not the struggle, not the boredom, only the results. Silence. They asked him his secret. He never mentioned the bench, or the tree, or the old man. He simply said, "I stopped negotiating with my mind." Pause. One evening, he returned to the park. He sat on the bench. The sun lowered itself slowly, like it had 1,000 times before. Silence. He smiled. Not because he had arrived, but because he knew he would keep showing up. Pause. Discipline had shaped his days, and his days had shaped his destiny. The most powerful people are not the loudest. They are the most consistent. Pause. And the world will never hear about most of their battles, only their results. Silence. Final pause. Discipline does not change your life in a moment. It changes who you become. When discipline is tested. One morning, he didn't want to go. Not to the bench, not to the work, not to the routine. Silence. His body felt heavy. His mind made excuses. You've earned a break. Missing one day won't matter. Pause. He stood there, caught between who he was and who he used to be. Silence. For the first time, discipline spoke back. Not loudly, not aggressively, just a quiet reminder. This is the moment that decides. Pause. He went anyway. Not with motivation, but with respect for the man he was building. Silence. That day taught him something brutal. Discipline isn't proven on good days. It's revealed on the ones you want to escape. Pause. When no one is watching time passed, his routine became invisible. No applause, no encouragement, no one checking on him. Silence. Friends laughed. Why are you so strict with yourself? Life is short. Pause. He smiled. They couldn't see the war he had already survived. Silence. Late nights, early mornings, choosing effort over comfort, again and again. Pause. He understood something most people never do. Freedom is built, not granted. Silence. While others waited for motivation, he relied on systems. While others talked about dreams, he showed up quietly. Pause. Discipline had stopped being something he did. It was something he was. Silence. Part 8. The return of the old man. One evening, as the sky dimmed and the park grew quiet, someone sat beside him. Pause. The old man. Silence. No words, no smile, just presence. Pause. Minutes passed. Then the old man spoke softly. You don't need me anymore. Silence. The young man didn't argue. He understood. Pause. The old man stood up, walked away, and never looked back. Silence. And for the first time, the bench felt different. Not empty, complete. Pause. Because the lesson was finished. Discipline had done its work. Silence. He stayed seated, watching the sunset, knowing one final truth. Success is not a moment. It is a habit you protect. Pause. And the strongest people in the world will never tell you their story because they're too busy living it. Silence. Final pause. Discipline doesn't make noise. It makes results.